Thank you, Phyllis. A rousing good morning to all of you. My name is Jonna Capio, and I'll be your service leader today. So welcome to Unity of Bloomington. At Unity, we offer practical spiritual teachings that empower abundant and meaningful living. We are a center for spiritual growth, and we provide inspiration, tools, and practices that support people on their path of spiritual growth. We extend a special welcome to those of you who are joining us today, especially online. And if you would like to find out more about us or receive our newsletter, we invite you to visit our website at unityofbloomington.org. You can also subscribe to our newsletter while you're visiting our website. So please stand and join us in combining our voices in joyful song.
For
you. Thank you. So please join me in affirming our statement of being. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. This power expresses life, love, wisdom, and abundance through me. In it, I live and move and have my being. Thank you. Please be seated. One way we empower abundant and meaningful living is by practicing and living our 5 basic principles. I will state the principle and invite you to respond with the affirmation. God is absolute good and everywhere present.
God is.
We have a spark of divinity within us, the Christ Spirit within. Our very essence is of God, and therefore we are also inherently good. I am. We create our experience of life by the activity of our own thinking. Everything in the manifest realm has its beginning in thought. I create. Prayer is creative thinking that heightens the connection with God-mind and therefore brings forth wisdom, wholeness, prosperity, and everything good. I pray. Through thought, words, and action, we live in the truth we know. I live. I now invite Ginger for our moment with the children.
Thank you, Jonna. Oops. Hello, my children. First of all, we do want to say Happy Father's Day. So I always kind of like Mother's Day and Father's Day because even if we are not fathers, we're responsible for making someone else a father, because without us, they would not be fathers. So we're important. Everyone has a part to play. So I just wanted to take a moment and just offer thoughts of gratitude to all of our fathers that are out there. I'm sure we can take our minds back to when we were young children and how our world might have just been us and our mother and our father and maybe some siblings. But that's what our world was. That's all that our world contained in that moment when we were so very young. And so I just want to take a moment, and all those fathers that are here today and those that are with us virtually, to say a big thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for stepping into the responsibility that there is in nurturing and caring for our young, who are our future. And one thing that's exciting is that even though I'm in my 5th decade, there is still a future that I am preparing myself for. I plan on having many more decades to go forward. And so I encourage all of my older children that are here with us today to appreciate where you are on this journey and know that you still have so much more to learn and so much more to offer and so much more to appreciate in your life. And so we're going to sing to all of us, because we are all the future. Oh, well, here, let me just stop you for a second. We are the future, but we also like to get blessings. So let's bless our young children, and let's bless ourselves.
Thank you. So this year, we are exploring and practicing ways in which we can embrace our unlimited good. During the month of June, we look at the concept of beauty. Myrtle Fillmore wrote in her book, How to Let God Help You, beauty and appreciation are inborn, and so are all the qualities that make for the transformation in the outer world. Join us this month as we open our awareness to experience and express the beauty that is innate within all creation. So please join me in saying this month's affirmation together. I open my awareness and embrace beauty within and without. So I'd like to take just a minute and highlight a couple of following announcements. So this month, we began offering our prayer support after the service. And so today, our prayer support person is Seb Neely. And please join Seb in the ministry office after the service if you have a prayer request or a prayer celebration. And Reverend Karen Williams will be our guest speaker on June 26th. Now for a moment of silence. So, we are spiritual beings here having a physical experience on earth. With this experience comes all sorts of challenges of being human together. We recognize there are places in our world where there is an appearance of conflict and people are displaced and dying. In the midst of all of this, we believe that there is no person, situation, or force greater than the power of God, our source of peace, strength, wisdom, and courage. Let us be silent together in the one presence as we affirm divine order and the experience and expression of peace in every corner of our planet. And so it is. So now, let us read from the Daily Word. The Daily Word is a tool. It is produced and printed by Unity. You can learn more about the Daily Word by visiting dailyword.com. The word for today is Father's Blessing. And today our affirmation is, I bless all fathers with thoughts of gratitude. I am grateful for fathers, grandfathers, stepfathers, and all father figures who care for children and families. I pray they are called always to follow their guidance and to act to express divine love. I envision their hearts and minds opening to receive blessings of strength, patience, and tenderness. I see them supported in all they are called upon to do and comforted during times of struggle. I pray also for children, young and old, as they remember their fathers. May cherished memories bring smile and warmth, and may the love remain forever in the hearts and minds. And for all those on healing or forgiveness journey, I pray that divine love leads and comforts them on a path toward lasting peace. May the love and peace of God fill their hearts today and every day. The Lord bless you and keep you. Numbers 6:24. So now we'll all join in speaking this affirmation aloud. I bless all fathers with thoughts of gratitude. And now please repeat it silently to yourself. I bless all fathers with thoughts of gratitude. So today our speaker is our spiritual ministry co-coordinator, Ginger Curry, and our musical inspiration will be provided by our Unity music team.
We are mothers, we are fathers, we are sisters, we are brothers. We are family, we are friends, and we nurture one another. You believe in me, encourage me, and I honor you. You have shared your love, inspired me, and I honor you. Thank you, mothers. Thank you, fathers. Thank you, sisters. Thank you, brothers. Thank you, family. Thank you, friends. We have nurtured one another. You believed in me, encouraged me, and I honor you. You have shared your love, inspired me, and I honor you. You believe in me, encourage me, and I honor you. You have shared your love, inspired me, and I honor you. I honor you. I honor
Thank you so very much. Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Phyllis. She always gets these little simple arrangements, and then she just adds a little magic to them. Zhuzhes them up is what I say. Thank you, Andy, and thank you, Seb. Thank you, I just went blank. Ruth, thank you, Ruth, for making the PowerPoint run. And later on, thank you, Jack and Patty, who are going to be our greeters and our ushers. It truly takes a village to do anything. And it's much more fun to have a village around you. Today, our daily word affirmation was extending gratitude, blessings of gratitude to all of our fathers. And then our month, we have been looking at beauty and embracing beauty in all situations. Sometimes you have to look really, really hard to find that beauty, to see God in everything. As we all know, I can only speak from my experience, so I thought that I would share a little bit about the legacy that my father has gifted me, his blessing, his legacy, how he has influenced my life. Many of you know that my mother and my father moved from South Alabama 4 years ago to come up to Bloomington to become Hoosiers. Well, that wasn't the only reason they came up, but they came up to move in with my husband and I, and we had a little in-law apartment built with a garage so that they could have their own space. And then a few months later, my mother passed away. And so the past 2.5 years, I have been the caretaker or the guardian of my father. So in one sense, we've kind of switched positions, where at one time he was my guardian and he took care of me. He made sure I was fed. He made sure there was electricity flowing through the house. He made sure that I went to the doctor and to the dentist, along with my mother. But so our roles have switched a bit, and so it's provided me a lot of clarity and a lot of moments to reflect on how our situations have changed. But I so appreciate the legacy, the blessings that my father has instilled in me, because those values that he has that resonate with me are the values that I live my life. And so I just wanted to share a few with you. One is a dedication to lifelong learning. My father grew up in rural South Alabama. The road that he grew up on is still a dirt road. It's that beautiful red dirt that they have in Alabama. I'm not sure what makes it red. Maybe it's clay, but it's a dirt road still. In the little town that he grew up in, there are now 1 gas station, 2 restaurants, a Dollar General store, and a Family Dollar General store. So if you need a Dollar General store, a dollar store, they've got 2 now. So it was a very small town. But he was, his parents were divorced. And so he was raised by his grandparents, which I'm sure there are a lot of grandparents out there that might be raising grandchildren. And just know that you are not alone. This is something that has been happening throughout the ages where someone needs to step in. But so he was raised by his grandparents, and his grandma and grandpa, they had 9 children of their own. So thankfully, they were all grown, although there were a few still in the house when my dad, who was 2, and his brother, who was 6, moved in with Granny Luker. So he was encouraged because one of his aunts was his 6th grade teacher. So there was already this tradition that for this higher education, that you could go out and you could get some schooling. So after he graduated high school, he was in the marching band, just like me. He actually played an instrument, though. I did not play an instrument. I'll tell you about that a little later, how you can be in the marching band and not play an instrument. But so he played the trombone, and so he went to a liberal arts school in South Alabama called Livingston, and he got his liberal arts degree with a major in music. And then after that, he became not even a high school, but a K through 12 music teacher in Alabama. And then after I was born and a few years went by, he decided his terminology would be he was called to go to the seminary. And so this seminary happened to be in Louisville, Kentucky. So that's how our family got to Louisville, and that's where I grew up. So he went to the Southern Baptist Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky, and he got his Master of Divinity in church music. And so that opened up other doors for him. So he became a music director in a church. Years later, he would be ordained and become a Southern Baptist preacher. And that's where he spent a lot of his time. During that time, though, my mom, ever the practical person in the family, told him, I'll soften that a little. She suggested that he might consider going back and renewing his teacher certificate so that he could bring in a little more abundance to our family. And so I have the privilege and the blessing to have taken a college course with my father, because while I was going to the University of Louisville getting my music education degree, he came back and had to take a few classes to update his license. And so we got to take woodwind methods together. So yeah, he did much better in that class than I did because I was a vocal emphasis teacher and he was already exposed to band music. So with that, he took on becoming a middle school band director. And so through the last 20 years of his professional career, he was teaching at a middle school in their band program, and he was also a minister at a church. And so that's how he became a minister and a teacher. So he was always learning. He was always honing his skills. Another example was that once you become a teacher, you have to continue going to school, getting your continuing education credits. So when I was working as a teacher and he was working as a teacher, we met up in Chicago one summer and we took classes together at Vandercook College of Music to brush up on our CEU. So not only once did I have classes with my daddy, but twice we went to school together. So that was quite a legacy that he gifted me, this dedication to always being open to learning more. When I'm 80 years old, I will not have learned everything that I would like to learn in this world. I'm sure I'm going to be 80 years old taking some class, learning something new. So I really appreciate, I'm grateful for that commitment, that dedication to always being open to learning. Another legacy that my father gifted me with was an interest and a dedication to a relationship with the divine, exploring spirituality. Now, his practice of his relationship with God is very different from my relationship with God and how I practice my spirituality. But he instilled that love for the mystery, that love for developing understandings of who God can be in our lives. And so I really appreciate that nugget, that seed that was planted all those years ago that still is blooming for me as I continue to explore spirituality in my own life and my own relationship to the mystery. Also, my father instilled in me a love of music. So in addition to Daddy having his music degree, he plays the trombone. He sang in a gospel quartet. So at home, I have this album. We actually have a little record player so he can listen to it when he wants to. But he sang in a gospel quartet when I was like 5 or 6. I remember going to these all-night gospel sings. I don't know if you've ever been to one, but they're pretty great. It's great music. And so he instilled that love of music, that love of expression. So some people ask me, like, how did you get into singing? Well, my dad sang. And so there is some genetics involved in that with the vocal cords and with all this in here. So I inherited that love of music from my father, and he's always encouraged me to pursue music. These are the things that I'm extremely grateful for. I was blessed to have a very loving, supportive growing up experience. Not all of us experience that, but I just want to share with you that even if you have that loving and supportive growing up experience with your family and with your father, there are still areas of conflict. There are still areas where we get to rub up against each other and soften those sharp edges. Because you and I are spiritual beings having a physical experience. Me in my 5th decade is very different from me in my 20s. My father was 27 when I was born. Him at 27, him in his 50s, quite a big difference. All of the experiences he's gone through. And I always find it interesting. Some people say that people have children when they're young so that they have energy. But I wonder if maybe if we had children when we were a little older, that maybe we would be a little wiser. And maybe we would be able to navigate some of that stress of having young children around. Maybe we would make different decisions. I'm not sure. We'll see how that evolves in the next 50, 20,000 years, if we're still around that far. But I just want to encourage those of us who have had tumultuous relationships with our fathers or with our families, that sometimes not only do we get the benefit of the legacy, the positive legacy, but there's also the benefit of our fathers modeling behavior that we get to decide whether or not we want to include in our own life. And one of the things that I want to share with you is how you and I can grow through identifying these areas and using that as a healing opportunity. Because you and I are always responding to the world with the understanding that we have at that moment. My understanding now is at a higher level of consciousness than my understanding of the world last week. So imagine the growth that we as human beings have, but so many of us lock our parents into when we were a teenager, and we never allow them to grow. We never allow them to make mistakes and then to grow from them and to learn and to make different decisions. Because in our minds, who they were when I was a teenager is who they will always be. I am working against that because that does a disservice to me, and it does a disservice to my father, that I haven't allowed him to grow and expand. So I wanted to offer a few areas where my parents, my father, offered modeling that I got to go, yeah, no, I don't want to live that way. And one of them is their relationship, or my father's relationship, to health. My dad has lost 100 pounds since he's been up here in Bloomington. Most of that is due to a little shift in medication to help control his diabetes. But he will tell you, because he has a very creative relationship with the reality that you and I live in and the reality that he lives in, that he says that, well, he eats one meal a day, and he doesn't understand why people can't lose weight, because if they would just eat less, they would lose weight. And then I don't tell him, well, it's because you started this medicine that suppressed your appetite, and I started cooking for you, and you don't go out to eat so much, and blah, 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 all the reasons he really did lose weight. But so in his mind, he's always had this wonderful relationship with food, because he'll go, oh yeah, I started eating one meal a day when I was in elementary school, and I just kept going. But that doesn't take in the fact that he was about 245 pounds before he moved up here to Bloomington. Now he weighs about 145 pounds. So in his mind, he's had a great relationship with health. However, in his 50s, he had a heart attack. When he was 65, he suffered a traumatic stroke. And he physically recovered from the stroke, but some of his creative relationship with reality comes from when his neurons reconnected. Some things weren't as important, like facts. As other, facts, are they important? I don't know. For some of us, they are. But so when I'm looking at my own health, some health is cellular or genetics. Some health is surroundings. I'm forgetting the word. It's Environment. That's it. Some health happens because of choices that we make in our environment. whether or not I move my body, what kind of food I'm putting in my body. All these things, some of it's genetic, but some of it is environmental and can be changed, like him losing the weight. So he's provided me with this opportunity to see an example of someone who didn't think about health a lot and how it affected how he's living. My husband, his father had a heart attack at 48. And so he was a smoker, he was a drinker, and he was a not great eater. So, and thank goodness, we have heart surgery that goes on now, and he ended up living into his 70s, after having bypass surgery at 48. So he got another 30 years, 25, 30 years extra time. But my husband has been a vegan since his late 20s. He might not believe, like if I talk to my husband about it, he goes, I don't know, I didn't give it much thought. But in my mind, I know he looked at his father and said, oh my, heart attack at 48? I don't think that's what I want. So he switched his diet, and he's always kind of stayed thin, and he's very active. Modeling behaviors that we know that, I don't want to go down that track. The other thing is finances. My mom and my dad always had very nice jobs, and they were abundant. However, they were not savers. And so when Daddy had his health crisis with a stroke when he was 65, some of the decisions that they had made, they needed to declare bankruptcy to get all that figured out. And so me now in my 50s, I would know how to help them. But me in my late 30s, I didn't have a clue how to help them through that. Hence, we grow and we learn. So it's these little things, like I know that for me, I want to make sure that my financial house is in order, because I've seen what happens when financial houses are not in order, and I would rather not model that. We can also go back to religion. I know that my father was very progressive on certain ideas. He always tells me, he goes, it doesn't matter what color you are. If you love someone, you should marry them, which is a very progressive idea for someone who was raised in South Alabama in the 1940s. So he's very progressive, but sometimes there's only so many limits to that outstretched arms of inclusion. Whereas that you and I have been thinking about these ideas where if we're going to love all, if we're going to stand for non-discrimination, that has to include all. We can't just say, you're okay. We have to say, we're all okay. That's one of the areas where he provided an opportunity for me to self-reflect and go, I like where he's going with that, and I wonder what would happen if we went a little further. You and I, we all have our own stories with our family. I'm sure that you could pull out 2 or 3 things that you loved about your father, that you appreciate, that they instilled these values within you. And then you can probably pull out 3 or 4, or maybe only 1, negative thing about your parents or your father that you was like, wow, I wish that I didn't have to go through that. But going through those experiences create who we are right now. Without that conflict, without that challenge, you and I are never encouraged to grow. If things always work out for us, then there's not much growth going on because we just go with the flow. But if there's that conflict, if there's that rub, then we have to go, okay, what is going on here? And unfortunately, or fortunately, when you and I are in a relationship, things are going to come up. And maybe we can work through them and get over them, or maybe we need time apart. But even if you have time apart, it's beneficial if we use that opportunity to stimulate healing. And that other person doesn't even have to participate. Because I am never going to be able to change your mind. Only you can change your mind. But I can change my mind. And I can change my relationship in this experience. And I can bless you and affirm for you that you're going to work through your own feelings and your own stuff so that you can come out on the other side a stronger person. One of the things that I wanted to share with you today is that seeing the good in all experiences, offering gratitude in all experiences, the negative ones and the positive ones. The positive ones because it just makes life easier. The negative ones because they're opportunities for growth. Compassion for ourselves, and then compassion for others in our lives. Because as I mentioned earlier, you and I are always operating from the awareness of what we have at that moment. We are doing the best that we know how in that moment. And 20 years ago, maybe I was doing the best that I could in that moment. And so if there is something that you're holding on with your father or with any other person, if we can offer that compassion to them, that in that moment, maybe they were doing the best that they could. And maybe now with some self-reflection, maybe they would make a different choice. Maybe they wouldn't. That doesn't concern me. What concerns me is how I am feeling about it and how I am nurturing a healthy self-awareness in my own awareness, my own life. Because when you hold grudges, when I hold grudges against someone else, that other person does not care. I am the only one that is suffering when I am holding a grudge against someone else. That person has moved on, but I haven't, and I'm the one that's hurting myself. So compassion, and then release those attachments so that we can grow and we can move on. I remember years ago I had a breakup with a mainline church, and I was angry. I was very angry, and I held a grudge. And then years later, I was in Kmart, and I saw a member of that church, and I was like, "Oh, hi, how are you doing?" And they were going, "Oh, yeah, we're doing really good." And then I was like, "Well, how are things at the church?" And they go, "Oh, so-and-so, who I was really angry with, they died." What? I was still so angry, and I was still holding on to all that anger, and they're not even here on this earth anymore. They really moved on. That's the ultimate move on. But here I was still punishing myself with holding on to this grudge. Is there a grudge that you're holding on to that causes you to feel pain, that causes you to feel like you're a victim, or that causes you to feel just bad? I encourage you, release that, because that situation, it is gone. The people involved in that situation, they have moved on. And I'm only hurting myself when I hold on to those grudges. And the other one is forgiveness. Can we offer some forgiveness to ourselves, to other people? And then step into that gratitude. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Also, we talk about contrast a lot, that we have good and we have bad. We don't believe in duality, but we believe that our experiences, some of them are pleasant and some of them are not pleasant. And we have unpleasant feelings and unpleasant situations sometimes so that we can appreciate how good those good feelings, those good times are, that contrast. So when you and I are going through relationships with people, friends and family like we're talking about today, if we can find within us the compassion and the forgiveness for ourselves and for others, and affirm that no matter what is happening, that we are all acting, we're all responding from the awareness that we are. And that, if we can offer love and a little grace to others, that goes a long way. Thank you, fathers out here today. Thank you for showing up, for being committed. If you feel comfortable at this time, maybe bring to mind your father, your grandfather, and offer a blessing of thank you. Thank you for shaping me. Thank you for helping shape who I am today. Thank you for helping shape who I am today. And I am open and receptive to continually grow from the opportunities that have been provided. Thank you, fathers. You believed in me, you've encouraged me, and we honor you. You've shared your love, you've inspired me, and we honor and we bless our fathers. We're going to prepare for meditation now by remembering that in the silence, we can renew and we can remember our oneness.
In the stillness of the silence, I am one with perfect light. I am healed, I live in freedom. Joy now fills me, thrills me, mind and heart. In the stillness of the silence, I am one with light and love. I am wise, my thoughts are loving. Peace now fills me, thrills me, mind and heart. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Unwind your arms and your legs. Sit up just a little taller in your chair. Lengthen your spine. And now take in an intentional, nice deep breath in and release. Another breath in and release. I'm going to quote a few words from the song that we sang earlier, Spirit Divine. I have learned so much in my life. I know that I am enough to receive more love. All I have to do is give. I am master of my fate. I am the captain of this ship. I am here to co-create the life I want to make and the love I want to give. I am here to navigate the physical realities that I have been presented. And as I go along my journey, to look for those blessings, look for the good. I am never a victim in any situation, because I captain my ship. I decide how I will respond. And there are moments when I forget my power, when I forget that I'm in charge. And in those moments, I am extended grace. I am extended compassion and forgiveness. And I'm extended the ability to begin again. Sometimes I begin again several times a day, and that is okay, because I am enough. I am loved. I am supported. God within is my source of strength and power. God within is all that I need. So let's take a moment and remember our oneness in the silence. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
Thank you. Ginger, it's really apparent who your main influencer is, right? Minister, musician, teacher.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we turn to the spiritual practice of generosity. We are grateful for the many ways this center supports us in our spiritual growth. And we, in turn, are happy to support this center with our financial contributions and our voluntary service. Today, as we participate in the activity of abundance, we welcome not only tangible treasure, but also your blessings. As the offering bag circulates around the room, we welcome your treasure and, as well, your blessing. Simply place your hand over the bag and offer a thought of gratitude before you pass the bag on to the next person. We are also grateful to those who have already put in place the automatic giving online. Your consistency and dedication help create a stable and thriving spiritual community. So as our greeters come forward to prepare for the offering, please join me now in speaking aloud our abundance affirmation together. I am an abundant being living in an abundant universe. God is the source of my supply. I am not dependent on people or situations for my good. God is the source of my supply. I always have something to give, and I consistently give it. I expect the best, I give my best, and I now attract the best in every experience.
Of all that I need to do all I can do, be all I can be as I go through my day. This is my creed, I have more than enough of all that I need, more than enough of all that I need. Hey, na 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 na, more than enough. Hey, na 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 na, more than enough. Hey, na 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 na, more than enough. More than enough of all that I need to do all I can do, be all I can be as I go through my day. This is my creed, I have more than enough of all that I need, more than enough of all that I need. Hey, na 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 na, more than enough. Hey, na 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 na, more than enough. Hey, na 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 na, more than enough. Hey, na 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 na, more than enough.
Thank you. And now as we bless our abundance with these words together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. So in closing, I would like to invite you to stand and join with me in saying our closing prayer. Together, we give thanks for, as the light of God we shine. As the light of God we shine, as the love of God we embrace, as the power of God we stand in truth, as the presence of God we radiate love. Where we are, God is, and all is well. So in gratitude for our radiant health, please remain in place and join us in singing together our closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it be
Thank you.